to Covenant Conversations with the Murrills, and today we have the Williams. This is on behalf of our WOC Marriage Ministry. This is my big sister, by the way, and God blessed her to go away with this man for me to appreciate her when she came back, because if he didn't, me and her were gonna have a war. She beat me up so many times, and I was determined when I get big, I was gonna get her. But then when she came back, I couldn't fight her.
Didn't touch her.
Sister Letitia, y'all, show your love, show your love. And her savior, Maurice Williams.
I wouldn't say all that.
Her knight shining armor.
Yes.
Because I'm telling you, I was gonna get her at least one time.
Shouldn't have been so bad.
Well, to her defense, that might have had something to do with it. But that last time when she put them fisticuffs on me, I said she ain't had to beat me like that.
So dramatic.
So our topic today is quality time. And so for the lack of quality time with my big sister, I changed my ways and I changed my thinking, because I really wanted to enjoy my big sister when I saw her again. So let's start with the Williams. What do y'all think quality time is all about?
Quality time for me is individual and together. My individual time and then my time I spend with him, because that's changed through the years. At first, I didn't know what that really meant, but as you grow and mature, you realize I need my time, he needs his time, then we both need our time together to enjoy each other.
Okay.
I think for me, quality time, quality being the key word, is being able to spend time together, enjoying each other, as well as the time you spend with your family and kids. But I think you have to find that time where you can really value and enjoy each other. So, because you could be in the house together, and that's time spent, but it's really quality time.
Wow. Now see, he's going to preach now. He's going to preach. The Lord got a word. The Lord got a word in the house. Yeah. Sister Nikki.
I agree with the Williams. Working on taxes together can be quality time. Going to the movies can be quality time. There's a vast array of moments that are quality with your mate.
Mm-hmm. So I'll add to that and say quality time is, for example, it's a little bit deeper than just being in the same room. So you both could be sitting on the couch watching a movie, and now some people love that. Nikki liked that as quality time, but quality time would probably be better if the TV was turned off and you actually was looking at each other and talking, because you can actually feel a connection when you're actually having conversation, and you know that you have that person's undivided attention. One of my little pet peeves, let's do this for fun. Let's let everybody do it. I have a pet peeve. See, my wife would probably feel like I'm just something else. Over the years, I used to feel like I was the greatest guy, but I've come to realize that I do have some ways that are a little different.
Just a little.
Just a little bit different. So, for example, this is the age of the cell phones, and if I'm talking to her, then all of a sudden I hear a video. I'll be like I was talking, like.
Oops.
I think that's a wife thing. I'll say maybe women in general. I don't know. But you're not alone.
Oh, okay. I feel better. So that's a little bit of a pet peeve for me, because it's like if I have your undivided attention, especially if I was saying something that meant a lot to me at the time, even if it didn't mean a lot to you, and all I'm seeing here in the building, Bitcoin has moved up to 5%. Like, Bitcoin. What about you, Dick?
Pet peeves?
Yeah, that you feel like is a quality time killer, or maybe a little bit of an agitator.
It can be a pet peeve, but I would say it's necessary. Not everything is gonna be a rosy conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's something that's on a serious note that has to be discussed, it has to be discussed. But it is a damper on the movie. So I can't say that's a pet peeve. That's a must.
Huh.
But it you're like, dang. It just kind of mellowed out the mood, but it's necessary. So
let's just paint this picture. So what she said is true. I'm gonna paint this picture in PG-13. Y'all take it wherever y'all want to take it. So I was just like, I love you, and I'm having a whole Little Rascal moment, and with her, and all of a sudden we kiss it, and it seems like, oh, this might be leading to something great. And then all of a sudden she said, did you pay the mortgage? Mortgage!
So we ain't in the same place.
Mortgage can wait. Okay, Tisha, what you got?
I don't know if I can talk. If I can, I don't know. He probably should go.
If you're gonna say pet peeve, I would agree with Donnell. I think sometimes I think we can be somewhere mentally, and their mind can be somewhere else mentally. And it will bother me because I'll be the same way trying to have a discussion and she going to town, or we in the bed going to town. But then I'm trying to mature and realize I have access to my phone and everything that's going on in the world all day long.
Mm-hmm.
She don't. So that in that window of time, she's trying to get in, what it is she might be trying to get in for her personal time and my personal time.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it can be a struggle. That's the maturity. I don't like it all the time, but I don't say anything, but you try to go back and say, that's where you got to get that balance.
Oh, that's good, husband. That's real good.
to my brother Phil, Daryl, if I was already on the phone and you come in with a great dissertation, all you have to do is say
dissertation. Oh my!
All you have to do is say time out.
How many pages is a dissertation in college?
All you have to do is say.
You have to sum up the whole class.
Just say time out.
For how many months? Good Lord.
That way I'll know this is a serious conversation. Put the phone down. Time out.
Okay, I can take that. Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times, Phil, I'm already on the phone, and I think it's a quick combo. No.
Let's move on. So, let's move on. So, one thing that we've learned, time out. One thing we've learned from company conversations and from the book, The 5 Love Languages, is that everybody speaks a primary love language, and it's very important for each mate to learn their spouse's love language, because most of the time what we want to speak is what we know. So if we're a quality time person and a person is a acts of service person, we might be spending time with them, and then they might be looking at you while you're sitting around looking at me. Why don't you go do something? If you want to show you love me, go wash the dishes, go fold some clothes. And then you're like, I do everything I can, but they don't, because you're not speaking their love language. So for the person whose love language isn't quality time, you may ask yourself a question. If I don't find time to spend quality time with my person, then is it possible that I may find time to spend more time with myself later, if you know what I mean? As in, like, they might be gone because their love tank is empty. Acts of service. So 5 love languages, for example, we got acts of service. And so if they don't feel like you're doing things to show them their love tank could get empty. Now, we need all 5, but everybody speak a primary one. So we got acts of service, we got quality time, we got giving basically. We got physical touch, which doesn't just mean sex. When I saw that as a man, when I first read that book, I said, "Oh, physical touch." Like, no. If you physical touch, you one of the people that like holding hands. You like when they come in a room and they just have to touch you and rub your back and do little things that just says, "Oh, I love you." That's physical touch. And then I think the last one is words of affirmation. So I want to get off that negative that I was like, you're gonna be by yourself. So let's get off the negative and now let's get to like, where do y'all see yourselves as your love language? What do you think is your primary love language? Me and Nikki are rare because both of us said quality time, and it shocked me. I said, quality time? I thought hers was words of affirmation. So she was like, no. So what's y'all's primary love language?
Give the choice.
Well, I'll let you go first. I did the last.
I think I'm touch.
Mm-hmm.
Because every time I'm always, I know you get sick of me. If we're sitting down, like you said, I might go over and, so that, I think that's mine.
Sweet.
Okay.
So physical touch makes you feel like someone's paying attention to you. They're it's not intimacy. That's not the word I'm looking for. It's another word that
It's a form of expression.
Well, for me, when I do that to him, he has my attention.
Okay.
That's like part of my quality time, our time together, because I'm enjoying those moments. Because this is new for us, having kids. Now it's like we have more time together. And so I'm like, hey, I'm here, and he recognizes that. He'll look over, smile, and sometimes we can just sit in the house and just hold hands, or I might grab my, and for me that's comforting.
So what does that mean to you when he does physical touch to you? Since you might be your primary love language as a person that likes to do that when it's given, what does that do for you?
We in agreement. Then we might go to another level. We might want to take that.
Okay. All right.
I would say physical touch. For me, receiving physical touch. Because I think out of the other four, you can express those to about almost anyone. You can buy gifts for anyone, words of affirmation you can give to anyone. The physical touch, I feel like, is mine. And that shouldn't be with anyone.
Right.
So that's the one out of the five that I feel like if I receive, that is special to me.
Right.
So that's why that one is my favorite. I like to receive it and give it. So that's.
So you would think. So that's now. What I'm hearing is you said that means something. There's something deeper to that. But is that your primary love language? Like, if you had to choose between all of them, would you put that over quality time? Would you put that over words of affirmation?
Yes, because if I'm receiving physical touch, I'm going to get the quality time.
Oh, okay.
That's going to come with it. The words of affirmation, is great, and it's great to hear that you're doing good. Or I love you, I appreciate what you. I think all of those are great. Like you say, you have to have all five, but those are things that you can give to anyone at any given time. Just like she can call you, hey, Brother Donnell, you did great at church today, or Sister Nikki, you did great. But see, when that physical touch, you're not giving that to everybody, or you shouldn't be giving that to everybody.
Exclusive.
Right. So I know when I receive the physical touch, okay, that's mine. That's something that they took the time and initiative to give solely to me. And I feel for me, that's where the physical touch.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Amen.
It runs at the family. They match. We match.
So, the Bible talks about do benevolence. And most of the time when we hear do benevolence, what's the first thing you think, Nikki? When the Bible says that basically a wife or a spouse is supposed to give their spouse do benevolence.
Fasting.
No.
that a wife should always avail herself to her husband. And except for fasting, but
Right.
just being loving at all times.
So what I think of it, I think of the fact that it's like your body is not your own. And most time that's how people will use it. Like, you got to give your spouses due benevolence. And I've seen women even be like with some men, especially men who reached a certain age and maybe they're not in the time of today where people are all out in the open with using drugs to, be able to perform if they can't perform. But, they've hit these places where they're like, come on, bro. Come on with it. Like, you take it too long. So, but I wanted to throw up that our bodies is more than just a vessel of intimacy. I mean, our time, our attention. I mean, that this body houses our spirit. It houses our heart and who we really are. And this is the thing that people see and what we can express in this realm with. So I'm thinking down the lanes of quality time that our bodies is something that we should give to each other more than just in a sexual manner. I mean, these eyes is part of your body. So taking time to look at somebody when they're talking. I mean, that's still due benevolence. Giving some give it, physical touch while you having some of those times. Only you can give that touch. That's due benevolence. So what do y'all think down that line? What else do you think that a person can give that would be due as a spouse that's not just sex? Especially when you're trying to have some quality time.
I would say feedback. Sometimes you can have a conversation or bring up a subject, and they'll always have a listening ear, But sometimes you want that feedback, and just whether it's good or bad, I always say if I ask for something, then don't cut it. Whether I'm gonna like it or dislike it, give it to me because I wouldn't ask you.
Right.
Because we're not gonna always say what the other person wants to hear, but especially if I ask you. If I don't ask you and you give it to me, I might be all. But sometimes it's still necessary.
Yeah.
So I just think feedback sometimes I would say would be,
And tell me what do you think the lack of feedback says to a person who feels that they need that?
Or lack of feedback. It leads the mind for imagining you don't know. So then you start creating all kind of thoughts.
Devil's workshop.
There you go.
Yeah. You got any comments on that one, Dick?
Sometimes I think lack of feedback isn't a bad thing. Sometimes you just got to think about maybe what you're going to say because you don't want to offend them. You don't want to make it out to something it isn't. And then you might have your own personal struggle with giving that communication or that feedback because of, maybe I grew up and I couldn't express myself that way, so I might be having a hard time expressing myself now. So I don't know. But communication is key. As you grow and mature, you do learn communication, expectations that you put in place may not be the same thing that everybody else wants. So as you grow and mature, you kind of, and I'm still doing that at this age, growing and maturing, learning, So.
Well, I want to ask Nikki this question then, down the lines of feedback. So I could feel his point at times. Nikki is more of an analyzer. She's not like even early on. I'd be more of a type A, let's fix this problem, let's go with it right now. And she's been chill. Matter of fact, her mama told me one time, like, man, Nikki been chill all her life. Like, so that was a wake up call for me. Like, if you gonna try to change somebody been chill all their life, good luck with that. That's who she is. She's chill. Like she's chill. So for a person who's chill, what could you what advice could you give them to give feedback to a person? Let me put this around that, because as a person, like for me, I feel like in that quality time, if I'm talking about something deep, I want to know what your thoughts are, what your heart is. And if you don't have anything to say about the subject at all, then they could make me feel like I didn't connect with you at that moment just because I didn't get feedback.
Right.
And that could make the devil's workshop be like, well, maybe you just don't care about whatever I care about. You don't care, it didn't bother you.
We've had recent conversations where I had to express and stress that I did not have an opinion, but it wasn't for a lack of caring. I guess it's that analytical side of me not being hasty to, give advice, but it is important for me to be present in that conversation, whether I have a suggestion, recommendation, feedback, but I don't need to be on the phone. I need to be truly.
We done left the phone a long time ago. We just talking about feedback.
I need to be truly attentive to what you're saying, and just be supportive. Whether it's a doctor appointment and going to bat for you in court. Not that we have any upcoming court dates, but silence is not always an absence.
Rejection.
You get rejection. You can still be supportive in silence. You could be someone who prays and follows up in a week. But it's everybody's different.
Right. Now, I was a person that grew up with a lot of rejection. So silence sometimes could feel like rejection to me. So I just want to slide that in. What were you about to say, Tisha?
Oh, I was just going to say, but like you were saying, silence isn't rejection, because I know he would probably think if we having a discussion and I don't say anything, it's not that I might not be feeling anything or thinking anything, but I'm not quick to speak. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'll meditate on something, or it may be a 24-hour period, and then I'm like, you know what? This is what I want to say. Mm-hmm. But like you said, it shouldn't be rejection, but I've never been one that's been quick to speak on anything.
Right.
But but now as you grow together, you learn that. But I know, like he said to me sometimes, like, you ain't saying nothing. What you thinking over there?
Right. Because you want to be in your world at that moment.
I'm listening and I'm digesting it and I can support it. And sometimes I might actually be thinking like, well, what should I say?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have any words, but they may come later. Like Nikki was saying, it might be like, I could be like, Lord, what is,
Yeah.
And then a while later, I may be like, oh, okay, now I can engage in this conversation. But he may be like, I'm done with it now,
Right.
I done said what I had to say, and we're moving on.
I think because I'll speak for myself, but I would assume for most men in general, sometimes when we bring up a certain subject, it's already difficult for us to just engage in that conversation. So once we get enough courage to just even have the conversation, and then we don't have any, feedback, then it's like, man, I don't wasted that time. I don't build up to have this discussion, and then there's nothing. But I also have grown to understand, like you and Nikki both have said, sometimes y'all need time to process it. For me, then it would be, okay, give me a little time. I heard what you said. Mm-hmm. Just give me a little time to think on it. So now I know you heard me, but you just need time to process it. Because I probably don't spend a whole lot of time thinking about it, days and weeks. So it wouldn't be fair for me to expect an answer from you at that very moment,
right,
all the time. But I also need to know that you heard me.
Right.
So then it's like, maybe I need to go pray on this thing. Because I don't want to give you any wrong information. Then you can be like, okay, I respect that. But when you don't say anything, then you're left to
wonder.
Right. Mm-hmm. And now it's like, well, okay, either you don't care, and then not that that's the
right.
fact, but that's where your mind starts.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, she didn't even care about what I had to say.
Right.
Okay.
So Nikki, what would you respond in that situation like that? How would you make me feel heard when you don't know what to say, don't have what to say? How would you voice that so that I don't have to wonder?
There's ways to actively listen by maybe repeating back something you said, or a sigh, or a grunt or groan, and then asserting, like Phil said, let me pray on that. Say something.
Let's talk about quality conversation. So the aspects of quality time? One of those things is quality conversation. So quality conversation is sympathetic dialogue. It's where two individuals are sharing their experiences, thoughts, and feelings and desires in a friendly, uninterrupted context. Now, see, she already interrupted. She don't even know how to do it. Yes.
I know you so well. I know what you're going to say.
You be thinking, you know what I'm going to say.
And he often gets on me, let me finish, woman, let me finish. So that is a pet peeve of yours, and I've tried to relax and let you say it, and I not say it. So I just said, and it's coincidental you read uninterrupted. So that's a pet peeve.
Well, do y'all feel that y'all have a time keeping that together with like not interrupting each other?
I do. I think I've recognized that sometimes I might over talk, and so I'll try to stop myself and let her finish, what she was saying. But I've recognized it, so she's never said anything to me about it. But as I've gotten older, I've recognized it. So now I try not to, be more willing to listen than to respond, as
right.
people say.
Oh, you already on the next part. Well, the next part is quality conversation also is when you don't try to fix it. And so I think over talking and trying to fix it a lot of times for men is built in our testosterone. What about you, Nikki? What you got to say on it? I meant to say Tisha and then come back to you.
Over talking? I don't know if I'm an over talker when it comes, but I feel like now the stage that we're in our life, because now we're almost empty nesters, even though he say, I don't know why I say that.
They always come back.
Tanisha's still there.
So now that we have this more time where we can sit and communicate, I'm learning, because he likes that. So I'm learning to communicate more, listening to respond, or when we're talking. And sometimes he'll say, sometimes you don't have to say nothing. because now I'm like, okay, I need to say something. And now he's like, no, you don't need to say nothing. So I'm trying to find a happy medium, medium on it, because we haven't always been able to have just us two. Yeah. It's always been us, the family, and the kids, and I've loved it. But now we're in a different space where it's like we're courting all over. For me, that's how I feel. It's more like a courting phase where, we get to spend this time together.
Get to be selfish a little bit.
Yeah, so we can talk and we don't have to worry about mom, dad, those things coming in, interrupting it. We can have that. So that's going to be a learning part, because it's never just been like us two, just us, finding us again,
Yeah. Nikki, you can speak to that, because I used to always try to fix your problems. Didn't I? You remember that? Or you kind of, because since I've grown and evolved, so I know it's so hard to remember those days, isn't it?
I'm not mad at you for caring. So I'm not. There's nothing negative to say about
This is the benefits of having a chill wife.
But trying to fix it indicates you were listening. So the fact that I had a shoulder to lean on, a listening ear, we can work through you trying to fix it. But just being supportive and in tune to my feelings, that's the biggest thing that I'm after.
Cool.
Yeah.
So down that line, we already covered it. Not doing something else while they're talking. That's a conversation kind of quality killer. What do you want to say?
Quality conversation. I wanted to plug my brother-in-law for 2 tours. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
And with you being wherever you were, serving this great nation, and Tisha being stateside, how did you all keep the love kindled twice, 2 tours. Salute.
Sometimes awareness makes the heart grow fonder.
Hmm.
So sometimes I think that because you're so excited when they get back, and the communication, everything's okay. So it puts you in a place where you do have to talk. You are communicating. But I think that was. Everything's good. You're saying things now that when you're together, sometimes you take for granted. Well, I don't have to say I love you today, or I don't have to show that appreciation. But I think when you're not together, you like, oh wait, I shouldn't take this for granted. And we're back at that day and time where now you can't. But I think that helped it out, talking a lot more, expressing. You don't think you did that, Tara?
Yeah, let me tell you about your sister. And you're right, Nick. I would say the first tour was totally different than the second tour. The first tour, it was part of an anxious part of finally getting to go fulfill your obligation, as being in the military. Even though you're leaving your family behind, it was like, okay, this is what the American people have been paying me for all these years, and now I want to go and do what I'm supposed to do. So you're kind of anxious to go, but after you go and you experience it, okay, I'm done with that part. And you make it back home safe and alive. Then the second tour come up, and I didn't want to go. And somebody said, well, no, I think you need to go.
Oh,
and
boy.
So it's like, man, you must really,
Oh, boy.
Hey,
well, that's rough. I said, okay. It's like I had a whole lot of choice at that point. So I just, it didn't help because then I began to question myself, what could be so bad that your spouse is saying, yeah, we need this time apart, even if it's you going to war. It's like, man, that's rough. not you need to go, get your little place to stay for. I'm gonna send you back to war so you get yourself together. So, and not saying it wasn't warranted. I'm not saying that it wasn't, right? After you get past it, and that's when I really. And I deployed. And the second tour was worse, but it was definitely more demanding than the first tour. And I kept saying, especially when I got in country, Lord, whatever it was that you was trying to show me on the first one that I didn't get, let me make sure I get, because I do not want to come back. So I think it helped. Like I said, sometimes you have to be apart to realize,
Yeah.
what you messing up or not doing. So
Yeah.
hopefully I figured it out, because I ain't go back for the third one.
I think you did. So part of that, with outside of where she just took us, back to the different ways to have quality conversations. Some of the feedback that I got from the book was listening for feelings. Ask yourself, what emotions is my spouse experiencing? And when you think you have the answer, confirm it by actually asking and saying stuff like, so what I hear you saying, I think I did it today. Like, so what I think I hear you say it is, and then it gives them a chance to clarify. Like, no, it's not that. It's just this. It's the principle of the thing. It wasn't that. That wasn't what it was. Then you can fully understand, like, where they're coming from. And it lets them know because you repeated it. You heard it because you had to say it. And another thing is to observe body language. I was in peer mediation. They used to tell us to pay attention to like active listening. They used to tell us to look at people, sit up straight, nod, sometimes say, and stuff, like give them ways to know that you're taking it all in. And so now, even though that was way in high school, I'm 45 now, and I could still be talking to somebody, and sometimes it's those same little things that I was trained back in my piece of military in high school. ROTC, that's all military I got. I did 2 semesters. You did 2 tours. I quit.
They teach you a lot though, the OTC classes. So yeah, it was good. But I'm sorry,
You good?
I didn't answer your question though. How did we work on communication? Fortunate enough, I was able to email and a lot on the first tour.
Okay.
The second tour, I actually had a cell phone, so we was able to communicate a lot more on the phone. So that was a big plus. And so, like I said, when you're away, some things you start saying because you don't know if you're gonna get an opportunity to say them again.
Mm-hmm.
So that does help.
Awesome.
Yeah, so y'all don't take it for granted, your spouses and the time that we have, because the Bible talks about how man's life is like a vapor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and when I think about a vapor, I think about steam from a boiling pot.
Mm-hmm.
Now you see it,
Right.
and then now you don't. So observing body language, there's things I can tell. Matter of fact, back in the day, I could tell even when we wasn't talking. If Nikki was still, I don't know if this is the right word, if something was still percolating in that brain, and she started just sitting here with her fingernails, sitting on the bed, or some kind of way you could make a noise with your fingernails digging into the other fingernails or something you would do. And I knew. So, it's just, this ain't good right here, boy. If I had the nerve, the situation wasn't bad, wasn't too bad, I might say, hey, babe, I'm trying to
Stop.
Could you stop doing it? But if it was a bad situation,
Let it leave low.
leave it, just keep digging in them. Body language would tell you a lot if you pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and they said it again, refuse to interrupt. So learning to talk in a way that makes a person feel intimate with you is sharing your feelings. So what advice would y'all, and I start this way with Dickie, going down, what advice would you give couples on, especially if they don't find that easy, what they could do to help themselves begin to share their feelings?
Yeah. Early on, we learned that we weren't mind readers. I'm quite a bit older than you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how smart I think you are. It is unfair to assume that you know what I'm feeling. So we learned that, I don't know, before the 5th year of marriage.
Well, your dad said something wise that you told me later. And at first I didn't know how to feel about it. And as a 20-year-old married person, I believe I was 20.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
You were 20.
Okay. Now, let me paint the picture. 2 weeks before we got married, I had a Honda hatchback or a Daewoo. I think it was a Daewoo. Because I called myself
That
getting
was after
a
marriage.
brand new car. No, the Daewoo. The Daewoo was
Oh, I
before.
don't even remember.
Well, either way, I had a car.
Mm-hmm.
It took me 2 trips in that little mid-sized car.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that small car. They not even mid-sized. To take to her apartment to officially move in. I had clothes and instruments and a car. That was my whole world at Mama's house.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I left out of Mama's house into being married, into an apartment, and having a wife all at once at 20.
Mm-hmm.
So to say I had a lot to learn would be an understatement.
Mm-hmm.
And her dad had wisdom to tell her, listen, it's all right, y'all get married, it's cool, but you have to leave some room for him to grow up.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I'm speaking about applied to me just as much as it applied
That's what I'm
to
saying.
you.
It goes both ways,
Yeah.
because then you'd
Yeah.
have to not expect me to know what you know
Mhm.
when you've already, how much experience on being on your own had you had since graduating from college,
Oh,
or
yeah.
even being in college? You was
Yeah.
in college, so you basically was on your own.
Since 20. So I had a 4-year head start.
Mhm.
But what I was saying was assuming you knew what I felt
Mhm.
was detrimental.
I didn't even know that emergency fund had to be rekindled. You had to replenish.
Oh, wow.
We had emergency fund. I was like proud, like almost want to brag. Looking, man, Lord help me, Lord, because there was times I would look at like situations, like not situations, but like where Mama was at the time and where we was out, and I'm thinking, I got cable TV, I got a house, I'm feeling real good about myself, and not that I was looking down, but coming from where we came from, there was a side of me that was like, yeah, man, and sometimes I'm bragging about stuff, like that was so dumb. But my point behind that was, I was so young and dumb that when we had an emergency fund, Nikki was like, all right, we just had to spend that $400, now we got to put it back. I was like, put it back. It was an emergency.
And, your mother probably could have had cable if she wanted it. But my point
Satellite
is,
in the country.
Hey, same thing. Just assuming that your spouse knows is not good. You have to tell them. And once we caught on to that, I think our communication just grew by leaps and bounds.
Amen. Y'all got anything on that?
For me, and he said it, and I'm actually starting to catch hold to it, expectations. I can expect something, but if I don't communicate it, how will he know? So that you said that word a couple months, 3-4 months ago, and I was like, yeah, expectations. Okay, I hear it, but it took me a while to think on it. I'm like, wow, if I expect something, what about if he don't know I expect that?
Right.
And I just assume, now I'm mad. Why I'm mad? And he don't know why I'm mad, but I expected it, and he probably like, what's wrong with her?
Right.
You know? So expectations, I think.
Did I hear you say sex expectations?
That's what I heard.
I think I heard sex expectations. Yeah, we need to communicate a lot more.
So for me, learning that, letting that really marinate, the expectations on what I think, because sometimes when you with somebody for so long, you just think, well, they should know. Well, no, not necessarily, because I think you're steadily evolving as couples and doing things. And like you say, when you're young and you get married, you're growing up together, you're maturing, and you're changing. So I think the expectation part has been big, and he's been really talking about that a lot. Expectations, communicating. It's really, really big, and I'm listening. I'm doing what you say.
And I've told her that sometimes she'll say some things, and I'm like, okay, it only took 30-some years, but we're getting it. You know, and it goes both ways, because I know there's things I have to work on as well. But I agree. I think our stories are very similar. Because we left at a very early age, about the same. In hindsight, I didn't. You probably received more advice from Nikki's father than I received from anyone, and that's to the day. So only advice I got was from your mom. She said, if you take her, don't bring her back. So
shout out, Pastor Elder Grady.
We still love you, Mama.
She meant that. So I can say that I hadn't had to bring her back. So so when you're learning right and you're young, and it's trial and tribulations, and you're trying to figure it out, and even like you said, to the day we're trying to figure it out, because we're in a part of our life and marriage that we really haven't been in, because Tanika, it was always the three of us. So it's just been a learning process, and whether it took 10 years, 20 or 30 years, I just love the fact that we getting there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before you leave away and you don't have the opportunity to get there. So as long as we have the time to fix stuff, then I'm all for it.
Yeah. And that's the attitude in marriage you have to have. You have to have a more covenant. That's why we call it covenant conversations. A more covenant, like this is till death do us part. All those vows that we made in front of our parents, in front of God, all these friends and family members. It's not about You're not making me happy anymore, so I'm done with this. You paint your toenails red now. When we was dating, they was blue, and so this ain't working out for me no more because I really hate blue. Like this is not. You can't. This is not what this is. This is a constant growing together, a constant working things out with the Lord. Because without God, it ain't possible. I mean, anything worth having, it's going to take the Lord, and it's going to take time. And it's going to take effort. I mean, when sin came in the world, work came in the world, and marriage is not void of work. It's still going to take work. And Nikki is not the same woman that she was at 24. So I have different work that I have to do now than I had to do then. I'm definitely not the same guy. Praise God. So the last thing I want to say of quality time is quality time when you do it activities, they're not always about the activity. So like so I'm gonna go ahead and out myself on this one. I never want to play games. Like when we have family gatherings, let's play. I don't play no games. I just want to sit here and eat, watch TV. That's it.
Saxophone.
Well, I mean, that's a given. No play saxophone, no make money. But but I see now, like sometimes it's not the activity, it's not the place that you're going. It's not even if you like the opera and y'all want to go to the opera. It's about sometimes spending that quality time with each other and create memories. And then these memories also create conversations later. So you could literally go take a walk and neither one of y'all want to take a walk. But then like later, say something happened on that walk where you saw a rabbit run across the street. And then it was something that struck a memory one time later. You remember that time we was walking and that rabbit scared the mess out of us around it? You don't get those things if you don't get up and go do things sometimes to ensure that you have quality time. So last question around is, what are some of y'all favorite things to do to get quality time that not favorite, favorite's too easy. Let's mix it up. Let's say something that you're not really that keen on, but you see the benefit of doing it. What about you, Nikki, since you're already laughing?
So my affinity with working out goes up and down.
Mm-hmm.
But if I go to the gym with my husband, he treats me to breakfast.
Oh, ain't that sweet?
Got a bribe, but that ain't sweet.
I like breakfast.
So what about y'all?
I think the quality time, it sounds corny, but like when he'll come to our events or he'll come, for me, that's a quality time moment because he know it's important to me, and for him to show up or work behind the scenes to help me, that means a lot to me.
Yeah.
So that when he does that, or he'll surprise me and like buy a ticket or do something. So that means a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think, like you say, when you're doing some things that you normally probably wouldn't do, but you do it out of the benefit of your spouse or significant other. And it's nothing against, anything that's going on at the church. But I do know that if it's something that she might want to see me at or participate in, then I truly make the effort, even if it might make me feel a little uncomfortable. Yeah. Even though after the fact, I'm fine and I enjoy myself. But I do know that, some things that and I think you have to make, not to call them sacrifices, but it's just meeting each other halfway. Just like now, she's totally into, the kids and the sports thing, but I know that wasn't always her thing. Yeah. Being outside and and that sun and
she Heloise's daughter, not outside. Yeah. No.
So I know that at some point in time, she decided to make that compromise and sacrifice, if not just for me, because she didn't want to hear the kids' mouth, because they I don't have to say a lot. That's one thing I realized that we've gotten older. I don't have to. The kids advocate for me, so I don't really. I really don't have to say much these days. But I know that's one thing that she has made a great effort to take the time and be out there, with me. Because a lot of times, I don't want to be by myself, but I'm gonna be there.
And as a person who tried to be a baseball person at one point in time, because my cousin, I'll go to his rehearsals, and I literally found some little step thing out there at the baseball park, and I went up there and slept. After a while, I said, "This is not fun. Like, this is baseball. What are y'all seeing this thing?" And then whatever position you play in, like, you gotta have a position that's moving all the time. If you ain't hitting the ball, no, I said, no wonder everybody's spitting sunflower seeds. And, boy, you better go. Somebody better go to the park with you out there.
You're right. It can be a very boring sport if you don't have someone playing. And that's where I solely get my enjoyment, is just being able to watch them play.
Yeah.
So it's just making those compromises, and as you get older, if you know something is important to the next person. So
Yeah.
You try. At least I've learned to try to do better. Sometimes I'm still at a struggle, but
We all do.
I make a conscious effort.
Shoot, 33 years of marriage. Salute.
It's went quick. To be honest,
I know it's scary a little bit.
Yeah, it seems like yesterday when you were sitting on the couch in your underwear.
Yeah.
For
real.
You said he's cutting that.
Let the people know.
That's how long it's been since we were like, y'all were babies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So I'll start with Phil. Last words, and I'll bring it back down to me. Any last words for today? Quality time, marriage, anything?
First, I want to say thank you for inviting us to take part in something I feel we can truly gain from doing, especially me, because I'm more of a introvert here lately.
Who's got quality time playing right now? You still got alarms going on.
That could have been one of the alarms. But
Don't forget sex expectations.
I will say that I appreciate the invite. But yeah, I for me, quality time is definitely a big one. I enjoy it. I almost expect it, because after a period of time, you just like, hey, don't forget about me. I know you got 100 other things you're doing, and you might be like, well, he ain't going nowhere. He gonna be here. And yeah, I probably am, but
That's not the point.
yeah, that's the principle of the thing. So yeah, I always feel like quality time, because if you have that quality time, it'll open the doors up for everything else. But it has to be. I think a lot of people get misconstrued. Well, we spend time together, but yeah, and not saying this is an issue, but like she spends time in her office. If you're in your office and I'm out, living and watch TV, yeah, we together, but that per se is not quality time. Like
Right.
Quality time is when you maybe on the couch together and you're engaged in the conversation, which we do a lot of, because we're always discussing us, the kids, things of that nature. So I think people just need to really understand the difference between spending time together and quality time together.
Yeah.
So you need both.
Speaking to that, before we go down there, there was an example in the book where they said you can go to a restaurant and you can look around and you can tell who's dating and who's married. And you know how you can tell? Because the married couples, or they just sitting there, and the ones who are dating are looking at each other and they're all in each other's face. They sitting all close. And so that's that. And I think the way they were saying it, or at least I took it, like that's a bad commentary. Like we should still have some of that going on. It shouldn't die because now we're married. And a lot of times people are scared to get married because they feel like something's gonna die. It's just you. The die was you doing the work you did in dating. But moving right along. Your turn, Tisha.
I don't know if I have as much to add. I mean, as far as the quality time, you just got to make it You just gotta do it.
Yeah, it's necessary.
And it is necessary. You'll mature at it, you'll grow in it, and then you'll learn each other. Okay, I'm gonna make that sacrifice. Sacrifices is quality time to me too. Like, but we're there together doing it. So I think what he said, I'm gonna ditto that.
Yeah. All right. What about you, Nikki?
It's so necessary. Dating, business, kids, therapy, what have you. Time alone with your spouse is a must.
And with that being said, I'm gonna say A to the man. Thank you for joining in for Covenant Conversations, and we look forward to talking to y'all again in the near future. Deuces.